friends, 8-Bit Josh here, and today we're back with my looking through out of print media series. This time looking through the game manual for Road Rash 2 for the Sega Genesis. So jump right in. All right, so here is my case. Not in the best shape, I'll admit. It's got some tears there on the bottom as well. Other than that, the case is in pretty good shape. But one of my favorite things about this when I bought it is when I opened it up, not only did it have the manual and all the cards inside, it actually had like handwritten notes from whoever owned this back in the day. It had some game codes. I've mentioned in some of my other videos where somebody maybe had written down a code in it or something. That's like one of my favorite things about getting these old games like that is the fact that somebody not only did this back then, but they actually saved it and kept it. Like, I don't know, is this from 1990 whatever year this game came out, early 90s? It might be. Like, I have a copy of Mortal Kombat, and in the back somebody wrote down the blood code. It's like, that's really cool to me. I love finding that kind of stuff. But yeah, so like I said, not only does this have the manual, it has the registration card, it has the for the latest and greatest games, call anytime. Electronic Arts, of course. Get a clue. This also came with the fold out. It's a poster. It's not really a poster. It's basically just advertisements for other Electronic Arts games, but it's pretty cool. It's got like all the sports games. It has like General Chaos, Jungle Strike, Mutant League Football, Jungle Strike, Mutant League Football, yeah, and Road Rash 2. I do have complete in-box copies of all those games. But yeah, anyway, that's kind of cool. It's not a poster I would hang up, but it's neat nonetheless. And then, of course, we have the actual game manual here, Road Rash 2. Got the contents here. You got the actual picture of the folks who developed the game, which is pretty cool. You don't see that a lot. Starting the game, how to plug it in. You've got your all your buttons there, which is kind of a lot for a Genesis game, because in Road Rash you not only have to steer and brake and accelerate, you have nitro, but you have to punch and kick too. And running back to your bike, if you played this game, you know what it's like when you wreck and the rider slides on the ground, then you have to run, make your way back to your motorcycle. And then let's see, the object of the game, to win at Road Rash, we assume since you're out there at 100 plus fighting hand to hand with some pretty burly guys and gals that you want to win, you have to draw on your skills and your smarts and your guts. This is a competition which demands quick reflexes, strategy, and a willingness to take risks. But there's one thing above all others that you want to keep in mind: the finish line. It's a critical geographical factor in any race. There are 5 ability levels through which you must progress to win the Rash. With the Shuriken 400 and $1,000, you start at level 1 with the Squid Tank, as it's called by veteran riders. To earn the right to ride at the next level, you must finish in 3rd place or better at every track. At each successive level, the races are worth more money, the fines are more expensive, and the courses are longer. Opponents are measurably nastier, and the fuzz shows up in droves. That said, if you become one of the elite who completes level 5, you'll have achieved Rash Master status. But there's always something in the way. You don't get terminally floored by an opponent or nabbed by the law, you're bound to run into all sorts of debris. Rocks, junk cars, deer, and cows all litter the road. And watch out for gravel patches, sand, and oil slicks. They're every rider's nemesis. And so are the cars. Don't assume they'll stay in their lanes. Revving to race main menu. You can start the race, you can select your track, the bike shop. The bike shop is where you gear up for rides of a lifetime. Choose from any 3 classes: ultralights, nitros, and super bikes. Prepare to lay down some cash. You can play solo, you can do split screen with a friend, which is always fun. Mono a mono, the ultimate grudge match. Just you and your nemesis. No other crazies are in your path or trying to knock you off your machine. Player A uses controller 1 and player B uses controller 2. When you select mono a mono from the player mode menu, you must choose the level at which you wish to compete, and each player must choose a weapon. No money is won or lost. The race is for honor only, and the game ends when one player wrecks, gets busted, or finishes the race. You know, I don't know if I ever played Mono a Mono. Definitely played 2-player with friends before, but I don't remember really playing Mono a Mono. Here you can set your name, the music, passwords, things like that. Racing, so here's your display here, your instrument panel. You got the stamina meter, and that gets lower, like if other racers are like hitting you, and when that goes down, you fly off your bike. Condition of the bike, your bike will explode if that hits 0. You've got time, the speedometer, tachometer, odometer, rear view mirrors. You have the nitro LED meter, nitro only. Riding a nitro bike, this LED meter shows your store of nitro burst. Each red light signifies an unused burst of nitrous. When you use a burst, a light goes off. Yeah, and running back to your bike, you know, everybody that plays this game gets knocked off or something like that. And the funniest part too is like, if you're running back to your bike, like if you're in the road, like you can totally get hit by other racers. You can get hit by cars. You can get hit by the cops because they're just, you know, zooming along and you're just trying to get back to your bike. That definitely has happened to me. Fighting, not everyone likes to scrap, but you gotta stand up for your rights. You can punch, backhand, and kick your opponents all day long. And if you're good enough to grab a club or yank a chain from another rider, you can inflict severe damage. Don't worry about aiming, you'll always attack the opponent closest to you. You have after a race, win, lose, wreck, or get busted. When you finish a race, you'll see a brief animation and a message from a cop or opponent. Then you'll return to the main menu where you can pick up a new bike, choose a track, change the game options, or start right into the race at the same level. Pretty self-explanatory. Then we've got winning, losing, saving a game. Winning is everything. Here it means cash you can put towards a faster bike. Don't be too hasty in buying. It's wise to save some for fines and repairs. And for losing, there's 3 ways to lose. You can wreck your bike, you can get busted by the police, and you can simply play slow. If you wreck, you have to pay for repairs. You get nabbed by the man, you have to pay a fine. If you finish low, you're just burning gas. If you run out of money, your bike is repossessed and you're given a Shuriken 400 and $1,000 in consolation. You return to the first level. So basically the game restarts. It's a roundabout way of them saying that. We have the bike shop. The bike you use to win at level 5 is not the bike on which you want to learn to ride. Each rider has distinct needs at each stage of his evolution as a rider. It's best to start on a light bike with quick steering. Later, you might want to get a bike with more power, and your improved skills will allow you to handle that power and the weight and slower steering that result. Bike Shop has a machine for every biker. It supports a full selection of ultralights and a showroom full of super bikes. We've even stocked nitro-powered Exotta bikes. Sorry, you can't ride them before you buy them, but these brief descriptions should help you decide which is best for you. Remember, no deal is closed until a bike is ridden out of the shop, so look at as many as you like. So then we got the list of bikes. We've got the ultralights, the Shuriken 400, this is the one you start out with in the game, and a 500. Reasonable mid-range power and lack of weight make this bike easy to ride fast. And a 900. A good compromise between power and weight makes this a great sports bike. I wish they would have included pictures of the bike. The Shuriken TT250. This gray market 2-stroke is a race bike with lights. Extremely light and quick, it can smoke bikes twice its size. Bonsai 7.11. This custom bike has an 1100cc engine stuffed in a stripped down 750 chassis. And we got the super bikes. Got the Panda 600, the Bonsai 600, Bonsai 750, Shuriken 1000, Diablo 1000. Choice of the power-hungry elite. Faster and more expensive than ever. And it's red. I mean, if it was like blue, I'd be disappointed being called Diablo. And then here we got the Nitro bike. So it's all the same make of motorcycles, just in different classes. Panda 600N, those are basically the same as the super bikes, but you can see they all have the N after them because that just means that they also have Nitro. Then we have the Treks and the Molokai Express Hawaii. named after the treacherous currents off Diamond Head. Brutal hairpin turns and radical changes in elevation make this one of the more difficult tracks on the circuit. You may want a quick light bike to click into a hairpin corner. Voodoo's Revenge, Arizona. Beware of the ghost-like rock formation standing silent along the roadside. The song of the spirits may lure you off the road, and if they don't, the oil and debris will sure lure you off the road. Stay out of the sand and watch out for abandoned cars in the road. Alright, and then here, this part's great. So here we have all the other racers, or rashers as they're called. We have Kakana, a descendant of King, I'm not going to try to pronounce that. His childhood was steeped in ancient myth. He was treated like royalty, but the Big Island just wasn't big enough. He was called to the mainland to race the dangerous circuit, the outrigger regattas of his great-great-grandfather's day. A disciplined spirit, his entire existence is focused on victory. Nonetheless, he's a fair and easygoing player, and he'll go out of his way to help you out. We have Slater. Man, I remember Slater. The cool thing about this is, like, when you're driving or when you're riding your bike, if we go back to like the heads-up display here, like right there, it'll tell you the name of the racer. So it's kind of cool that you can like actually place, like they give you like a backstory of each person. Slater, a wild man from head to toe. This kid set a world skateboard speed record wearing nothing but a tense grin. His moment of truth came early one morning when he skated alongside a biker who had just tried to run him off the road. He jerked him off the seat, hopped on, and sped into the sunset. Bye skateboard, hello wheelie heaven. Slater's way radical. His wealth of knowledge and sarcastic shtick makes him one of the most sought-after contacts on the tour. And Mr. Lawson, meet the man of the 90s. Beautiful wife, beautiful home, enormous debt, insurance lawyer at LA's most prestigious firm. He takes out his pinup rage on unsuspecting weekend racers. Don't tell him he's a yuppie. Don't call him by his first name. This dude has no mercy. He'll lie and cheat like no tomorrow, and with guys like him around, there may not be. And we have Biff. It would be awesome if it was like Biff from Back to the Future. Daddy bought him a Diablo for high school graduation. Biff cruised Harvard Square without a helmet, just to mock local cops who dared to pull him over. Fucking for a desk job, he jeered, tearing up a ticket. Now he travels the country crashing road rash events, flashing his cheesy grin and lapping at his trust fund like a fat cat from a bottomless bowl of milk. This guy is a waste product of the 80s. He looks out for no one but himself. Here we have Public Enemy #1. She saw her first punk rock show at 5 years old. At 13, she was tattooed black from the waist down. By her 18th birthday, she had 143 piercings. And after being exiled from the United Kingdom, trafficking arms in Central America, and designing anarchist bumper stickers and Tangiers, this nasty break gave herself to the love of her life, violence. Older than a drawer in a morgue, she'll brutally attack anyone and anything in her way with absolutely no regard to her own personal well-being. Watch out! Here we have Warhammer, San Francisco's hardest hitter. This 6'6", 240-pound screamer heads the metal band Sock in Mouth. What kind of name is that? Oh man. Whose albums were banned worldwide. His stage show is a modern Gomorrah, and after a week of swallowing blowfish, smearing himself with elephant dung, and rolling in razor wire, the war dude likes to kick back at 180 miles per hour and wreak havoc. The crazed on life health nut, his impact out of control agenda has no room for peace of mind, though he was once spotted sitting idly in a lawn chair while his kids arranged refrigerator magnets on his forehead. And I bet they had a lot of fun coming up with descriptions for these characters, because like what even is this paragraph? I don't even know. Those were some words that I just read. Chino, born to ride a chopper, this crusty, stinking face crusher turned to sports bike so he could compete in road rash events. The most seasoned rider of the bunch, he'll do anything for you if you befriend him. But he'll make life short if you get on his bad side. Legend tells that when he busted out of San Quentin, he hot-wired a police bike and roared into the desert. One car chase ensued, and when the cruiser flipped off the road, Chino circled back to the wreckage and put his fist through the windshield. So the haze of the radiator steam, he looked into blank eyes of the trooper and whispered, "Brother, I'll see you in hell." And here we have the Godfredson twins, Jorg and Sven. After losing their dirt track licenses for excessive whining, the sinister duo moved their operation stateside. Unable to find sponsors, they turned to illegal circuits where their alien status was overlooked. Jorg seems pleasant enough, but he's one of the nastiest guys on the track. Just tell him he looks like Sven. And Sven doesn't even pretend to be nice. Like his brother, he spent most of his life trying to distinguish himself. He just never seems satisfied. All mutual hostility aside, the pair is bonded by meanness. They'll clean up the lesser opponents, if only to express their hatred for each other. Here's Roz. Reared in the balmy island breezes of the Caribbean, the peasant girl got her first taste of survival cycling in the bullet-shorn alleys of Trenchtown. Leader of the street gang Liquid Angels, Bride was immortalized for her daring chicken passes and mastery of Obey, a potent form of black magic. After fighting her way from the ghetto, Ride worked as a bicycle messenger in Manhattan. Craving speed and excitement, she bought an old shuriken, souped it up, and headed out for California. She's both wise and helpful, and she'll back any underdog who takes the system. Here we have Natasha, the crown princess of the circuit. This red-haired beauty has seen it all. She had her first bike at 3. At 15, she was a regular winner on the local junior circuit. But after a few years in the spotlight, she fell into some bad company. She quit racing and supported her boyfriend, who was an up-and-coming Grand Prix phenom. After being indicted on charges of sabotage and reckless endangerment of lives, or allegedly tampering with the bike of her husband's competitor before a race, she went underground, emerging only to bust heads at Road Rash events. She's cool and generous, but if you turn on her, you're asking for a world of hurt. And of course, no Road Rash game is complete without the fuzz. Here we have Marshall, an orphan raised in Los Angeles. Marshall is the meanest, toughest cop around. He'll hit the road if he knows he'll bring down a rasher. All he talks about is his gun. Word is he became a cop so he could bust his priest. And then here's the other cops in the game, and you'll see their names too. Like if a cop comes up behind you, or even if there's one in front of you as you're racing, it'll have their name on your little heads-up display. So that's always really neat. I just think it's really cool that they put these like kind of little backstories for all these characters in here, even though in the game you don't need to know any of this. Like they just added all of that because, you know, that's just what they did back in the day. And then, yeah, so you got a couple of pages here. You can write down some passwords, you know, to keep track of where you were and all that fun stuff. And then there's always an ad on the back. So this is for Lotus Turbo Challenge. Warning, this game is fast. You know, I don't know that I actually played this game, but it looks fun. Yeah, so there you go. That's the manual for Road Rash 2 for Sega Genesis. Hope you enjoyed this look. A lot of reading because it has all the backstories for all the characters. This is a game that, for just a racing game, has a lot of characters in it, and I thought it would be neat to give all the characters a little backstory, which I think is neat too. It's a fun thing to read. At least it is for me. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you want to see more videos like this where I'm looking through other out-of-print media, whether it's game manuals, video game magazines, or like game guides, things like that, do let me know in the comments down below. I also live stream retro games every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube, as well as Twitch and TikTok. So hopefully see you on a stream, or I will see you on the next video. Right. Bye, everybody.